Let's go ahead and get started with a prayer. If you will join me, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you so much for all of these wonderful people who have gathered here to learn more about the mission of CCFW, learn more about our vision and how social enterprises within our agency advocates for that mission and supports it long term, and how we are helping those within our community. Father, we just pray that you bless each and every person that is on this call with your wisdom, and that there is a sense of understanding coming away from this meeting, understanding more about how we all support one another within this community, how others can support us, and continue this incredible mission to end poverty one family at a time. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. And so with that, I will turn it over to our subject matter expert in the areas of immigration and our dental clinic, Mr. Sergio Chassin.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us in this afternoon, and thank you for your time. I want to start sharing with all of you a little bit about our immigration program. Immigration services here in Catholic Charities Fort Worth is an old program. We started late 1982, and since we have been providing this kind of service. What do? We provide comprehensive immigration legal services to anybody that show up to our offices or contact us from anywhere in the diocese or outside of it, actually. What we do is we provide from an initial consultation that is answering a few questions that somebody might have to fully preparing an application packet and legally represent that case in front of the government from beginning to end. Our services are focused in three of the, what we say, five main areas of immigration law. So it would be family-based immigration, which is the core of our services. And the focus of that is to help families to remain together. Families that right now are separated due to immigration concerns, we work with them so they can be all together. Then we offer services under the umbrella of humanitarian relief. And this includes a wide variety of situations. Uh, People that is here as a refugee, or people that is here in the U.S. and have become victims of crimes, of other things, and other special programs that the government have under those categories. And finally, we offer services on citizenship. That's the end of the road for the immigrant travel. You start from zero, and finally you become a full-blown U.S. citizen. So there are two areas that at this point we are not working with, and one is employment-based immigration. This is when a company and a corporation wants to bring somebody to work with them. We don't do that. We don't have corporate clients that way. And the second one is right now we are not working cases on immigration court. Now, in terms of our services, we have no limitations of any kind. So there's no geographic restrictions or any kind. Anybody can be served. Before COVID, we were offering services also out of our office in Wichita Falls and Arlington. Right now, we are more limited like that. All the information can be found also on our specific website, ccfwimmigration.com. And that website is fully bilingual and contains all the details, and especially how we continue to evolve and accommodate as COVID got bad and now as we start to return to normal. Also, it's important to know that anybody can come for a consultation. The initial cost is just $40 for that consultation. What happened after that is a combination between what the client is eligible for, right? They might be wanting to do something, but the law doesn't allow it. and their desire to work with us as opposed to other providers. But thankfully, most of the clients are eligible for something and come to us for a consultation, choose to work with us. Then we can move forward. And what we have right now is our funding. Our funding comes from three main sources. We have the main program, 1100 is just an internal code. But this is the fee for service program. This is the one where people pay $40 for a consultation, and then they pay a fee depending on the services that they are receiving. And that's the main program that we have. Second, we have a couple of grants from the federal government to do specific work. One is to serve refugees, asylees, victims of trafficking, and others. And the other one is specifically to help people that already have a green card to become US citizens. So that's where our funding comes. The grants are truly a wash. They cover the specific work they demand and they do. The fee for service program is where we focus and work more as a social enterprise, trying to provide a service that is high quality, affordable, but at the same time, not only sustainable, but that allow us to provide services or to return that profit to the agency to continue providing general services. This chart is interesting because it really doesn't help us see much trends when you see the year-over-year ICS appointments. And the main reason is because our services are insanely sensitive to the economy, government decisions, and sometimes things like the weather. You know, a week of rain put some of our clients in a bind if their job is outside and they have to be out. So there's a wide variety. The positive thing that we can see here is that even we have those downs during COVID, we can see that now year to date, we're starting to move up toward our highs where we normally used to be. And as we think about growing, we have learned plenty lessons here during COVID. And what we look forward to do is to improve our traditional service delivery method that was 100% in person with the technology and with the know-how and the advantages of remote provision of services. And this will allow not only for the people here in the Fort Worth area that choose to do so, but it will allow us to easily or more easy reach out throughout the diocese and all that. We need to improve and revamp our outreach and marketing, starting from our network of parishes and outside. And the sky's the limit at that point. Also, it's not reflected here, but it's something we're working very hard. Is in the launch of a new branch of services that is a business-to-business operation, offering back office services to legal offices that might need help with immigration services. The expertise of our team, the credentials of our team, the specialization of our team puts us well above the standard paralegal back office services. And I think that will be very attractive to many people, and we're looking forward to launching this. I'm not gonna, in the benefit of time, spend much time here. This slide just show you that when we talk about immigration, what we're talking about is it's a wide variety of people. So people can be in different places in this huge spectrum. So we have to be very careful who's who, where's what, and try to work with that. So I'm sure you will have access to this, to look at it carefully, and if ever a question come up, we are happy for you to contact us, and we'll give you all the time you need to help you understand what you want to know about this system. I have mentioned this before in terms of the services that we offer. It's a wide variety. It's a huge menu, and it just mirrors what the government grants people. And like I said earlier, it's within those three main categories. And I think it's time to hear about all these from somebody else in our department. So I think we have a video to share with you on this.
The sound's not coming through.
Caitlin, there's no sound coming through.
Sorry about that, everyone.
That's okay.
Difficult. Give us 1 second.
That's okay. We've all faced it.
I'm Isabel Dilar. I'm working for Immigration Department Catholic Charities. Now I'm a credit legal representative. I got my accreditation like almost 2 years ago. I am an accountant by the professional career, but now I'm working for immigration. I've worked before for the call center, immigration call center, for 4 years. And I started working there. That was my first touch with immigration field. I am from Peru. I'm born in Peru, and I did it myself, the whole process to become a U.S. citizen. So I really like to know all this paperwork and forms and everything. So then I find out about this call center position working for immigration, so I started working for them. But it was like just more providing general information over the phone. I couldn't provide any legal advice. So after 3 years, I started searching around, I can just develop a little more in the immigration field. And it comes like the new coworker, and I have to train her. And I saw there was like a folder, and they say Catholic Charities. And I say, oh, because I'm Catholic, I get a little, what is this? And she said, oh, but I'm a volunteer in Catholic Charities, and they have an immigration department too. And I didn't know that. I remember that day was a Saturday, and we used to work Saturdays, and it was Why? But Why didn't remember me. That's my coworker. And I was asking, are you looking for volunteers? She said, we always look for volunteers. So I see the website and apply for some positions. That was in 2014, I remember. And nothing happened. I'm still working for, the call center. And in 2016, I totally forgot about it. I received an email from Sergio and say if I'm still available. And I came for an interview, and he gave me the opportunity to start working for Catholic Charities, which is very good. I was praying a lot to get this position. And that was my journey to come and start working for Catholic Charities. Every client that we see, they have a story as immigrants, asylees, refugees. I remember working for SOS clients. They were from homeless clients. Most of those clients, they lost their documents. They lost their permanent resident cards because they're sleeping on the street, or because, they're victim of assault and everything, because, there was difficult that they're going through. We try to work with them, and we receive a lot of referrals of clients, but one of them I remember very well because he was a Cuban, and he came to the United States in the 1970s, I believe. when they bring the Mariel, that was the first boat that come to the United States, and he started working for a farm, and he worked for the farm for 20 years, and he never cared about getting, documents. He knew that he entered with the parole, but he didn't know that he needs to get a green card and everything. So now he was late in life, and he needs to get his benefits, and he couldn't apply for any benefit because he didn't have a green card. But making the long story short, he doesn't even have, the birth certificate and a lot of things to prove that he was a Cuban and he can obtain the benefits as a Cuban. So we tried to contact with some Cuban clients here and tried to see, because he didn't have any family left in Cuba. So it was a long process, probably last like 2 or 3 years trying to get his green card. But even we worked like a team because Ruth helped us to do the waiver because he has some problems, some kind of criminal record too. So it was a long process, but we just received, probably like a year ago, that he received his green card, and we were so happy because it was taking too long. Oh yes, definitely. I changed a lot because working this close with the clients helped me to understand better, first, different cultures. It helps me a lot and feel more empathy with them. I feel like they give me the opportunity to, sometimes I was thinking, again, working for, SOS clients, I started thinking, I don't really help them. They help me. They help me to give me the opportunity to do something different for them. I'm very grateful because I feel like beside that, of course, it's a job and you can generate some income for your family, but how good is that you can also, help people. I would say that if you are looking for a kind of job or work for a non-profit organization, they can help you some kind of, that you're looking for purpose in your life. And maybe Catholic Charities can be good for you. When I came to the United States, I have to reinvent myself and thinking what I'm good for. I'm an accountant, but I don't really like to work with numbers. I don't know what it's like to be an accountant. I just find out myself that I really like to work with people. And then I think that God gives you a talent and you need to use the talent. Some people, they like to work with people to do some more creative things and people. So you need to find out what is your talent and then just put on the service. So I think Catholic Charities is a good place for you to give you this purpose in your life. I'm very grateful to, working for Catholic Charities, to find this organization and feel like you can make good friends. And there is always, willing to assist, willing to help you in anything. And we work as a team always. So it is very, very, very good place to work.
All right. Hope you really enjoyed viewing that video and hearing more about why Isabel's so passionate about working with our immigration team. They really are a very tight-knit, fantastic group of folks. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Chassin, who is going to talk about our dental clinic.
All right, I'm back with my newer hat. I've been with the agency in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be 16 years, and all of those were or have been in immigration. But I don't know. A couple of years back, there was a need for leadership in the dental clinic, and my boss at the time asked me, "Can you help for this quarter to end the year and handle it?" And I said, "Sure, I love to. I can do that." And then when January came, he said, "Are you okay to keep going?" And I'm sure I'm okay to keep going. So I don't remember. At some point, I had to take the word interim from my signature in the email, because at that point this was my baby as well, and I'm so happy to have come to the dental clinic. The dental clinic is in a sense a newer program in the agency, even though we've been running it since about 2013. I'm gonna say, and somewhere around that time, when we were in what we, or I, still call the new building, and or our building, and we were able to build this place. This came to be this dental clinic because we had assistance funds for medical needs, and we noticed that a lot of those were going to dental requests. So the thought at the time was, well, maybe instead of we using this fund to sort of alleviate a little bit on people receiving services elsewhere, we could have our own clinic here and be better stewards of our funds and do that. And that's how this fantastic clinic came to be. This is a great clinic, 5 chairs, uh, fully operating, and we seek to provide, again, the highest quality possible. This is not, no, let's do what we can. No, this is high quality services at a lower cost. We provide preventive and therapeutic services. You know, your cleanings, fixing of cavities, root canals, crowns, bridges, and many other services. At this point, we are not doing implants. I don't know what the future holds, but I look excited toward it. But at this point, we have this core of services that is very unusual to find in a nonprofit uh, dental services. Most of them are in the emergency, let's pull that tooth kind of operation, or more limited. We try to be a comprehensive dental home for anybody that comes to us, only that we are able to provide it at a cost that they can afford. The initial consultations are only $50, and that covers the x-ray and the complete examination by the dentist that then prepare a treatment plan for the patient and tells them, well, this is what you need to have done. But not only that, it's explained to them in terms of priority and importance and urgency, so the client can know where to start, and they may not necessarily be able at their time to afford the full thing, but they can start with the things that are the most important at the time. We do not work with insurance, and we do not work with Medicare. So our clients are cash clients that don't have insurance that they can use elsewhere, and or Medicare and those things that they can use in other clinics as well. So they come to us as a cash client that we can serve at that time. We open Monday through Fridays all day long, by appointment only, of course. And right now, of course, we have even more limitation due to COVID. In our dental clinic, there's still several restrictions in place. We are not fully out of the woods in terms of our COVID care and prevention. Well, where does the money come from? Of course, I said we receive fees from clients. We charge them with a fee. But we also receive an allotment of funds from the St. Joseph Health Trust, which is a trust that is connected to the diocese. It has a long story that I'm eager to tell you right now, but I know they frown upon me taking too much time. But the beauty of this fund is that allows to, across the board, subsidize all the services. So the cost of a service in our clinic, in average, is 50%, and sometimes even a little more, less than what it would cost them elsewhere. So we are always running that comparison between our cost and the prevailing and accepted cost that the insurance has for our region, and we try to remain there. Additionally, a new thing that we have is we have partnered with another nonprofit that help people finance with extremely great conditions, well within our mission of help people get out of poverty, and help them to finance those things that they cannot cover in the moment, so they can have their full treatment done in less amount of time. So we are very excited to see the clinic moving in that direction. Again, we see here our year-over-year dental appointments, and we are very excited to see them growing and coming back to normal. To truly understand this graph, it will take a lot of time because the clinic have gone through several different stages in terms of how many doctors we have, when are there in the building actually. So right now we have a full-time hygienist, 2 part-time dentists, one working 3 days, the other working 4. And we have, of course, the support staff, the registered dental assistants and all that. So this has a lot to do with when in time, where were we in terms of appointment. Like everything else, we're trying to grow it. We want to see this clinic become more than what it is right now. We're looking forward to the moment when all the restrictions of COVID are lifted, so we can come back to a more aggressive seems now like a bad word when I see it in the slide, but a more strategical and aggressive scheduling to get more people in. The idea is to be able to get people in the system. During the COVID crisis, we were shut down several times. I mean, one person infected in the clinic meant 2 weeks of quarantine. So we had a few instances of that. Then we have the snowbid crisis. So we're looking forward to a time when we can get everybody in, so there's not a terrible long wait. Just like in immigration, we want to start outreaching more aggressively to our parishes. And technology, we're starting to implement things that in the past we didn't quite have in terms of technology, even simple things in client communication that maybe with your dentist, you take that for granted, text and email reminders and those kind of things. We didn't have that before. Now we're being able to implement it. So we are excited to where the clinic is headed, and excited what it can be in a year, 2 years, and I hope you come back again in that amount of times and we have fantastic news of where it's gotten. And we have also now the chance for you to watch this video and listen from one of our dentists on how she sees her work here with us.
My name is Lisa Sibley. I'm a dentist. I've been practicing for 25 years. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I moved to Dallas in 2009 because I'm married, have 3 kids. They're all young adults. When I first moved to Dallas, I was working in corporate dentistry. Not a good fit for me. I grew up in a single parent household, and insurance was extremely high. Dental cost was really high. And I had a few bad experiences. So I decided, I can make a difference. I can make a difference in the dental world because I really like to help people and show them that the dental experience isn't as bad as people say that it is. So that's what led me to dentistry. Moving to Dallas and working in corporate, like I said, was not a good fit for me. And I knew that I had to find something. And I ran across an ad for Catholic Charities. And oh my gosh, it has been wonderful. It has been so fulfilling because Community healthcare is my passion, and I absolutely love giving back to people who are less fortunate, because I was once that person who could not afford quality dental care. And whether it's here at Catholic Charities or in private practice, I think that all people deserve health care, quality dental care. And so I try to provide that every day. And here at Catholic Charities, it's a pleasant experience. It's a pleasant atmosphere. I have more quality supplies and equipment than I had in dentistry, and that says a lot. So because our focus is on the end result of seeing how much money we can make, So I like to have the autonomy to actually provide a good service for the patient without feeling like I'm rushed and I have to produce so many crowns on this day, and just be able to provide what people need. So I had a 78-year-old patient, and he wanted his teeth white. So he had crowns on his front teeth already. He couldn't afford to replace those. The new crowns that he needed in the back, because he was grinding his teeth, he wanted them white, and they were really white because that's the shade that he chose. And as I was working, he said, "Dr. Sibley, you're always just so calm, and it seems like you're just like focused." So I said, "Well, yeah, when I'm working and I'm doing something that I really love to do, I get in my zone." So every time he comes in now, he says, "You know, Dr. Sibley, I love it when you're in your zone." So he sent me a really nice email with a podcast to check out about being in your zone. He found out where there really is a scientific thing about being in your zone. Absolutely. When I graduated dental school, I knew everything. I had a dental degree that said I knew everything. I had a license that said I could do anything in the dental field because I was licensed and I was a dentist. And then as years progress, you grow as a person and realize that, hey, those are teeth, but there are people attached to these teeth. So you learn to accommodate people and kind of meet them where they are to make them feel comfortable enough to come in. And now I can probably 95% of the time give an injection and they don't feel it, because that's the scary part about a dental appointment, right? They're going to give me a shot. I don't say shot. I don't use those terms. I'm going to put your tooth to sleep. And most of the time they'll say, "Did you do it already?" So as a person, I've evolved, and as a clinician as well. Yeah, I'm proud of the growth over the 25 years. I'm glad I'm not that person. If you're feeling like I want to help someone, just get up off the bench and just get it going. I promise it's rewarding. It's fulfilling because you get to help someone who does need. And I mean, that's better than money, you know, just that feeling of being able to help someone. So I would say if you have a passion for doing something, don't wait, don't postpone it. Just get up and do it where there's an opportunity. My name is Lisa.
All right. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that. You can absolutely feel Dr. Sibley's passion and empathy for community dental care coming through in that video. We are just richly blessed to have her as part of our wonderful dental team. And thank you to Sergio for those incredible highlights and overviews of those departments. We're going to shift gears a little bit, no pun intended, over to our transportation team and our incredible subject matter expert and leader over that team, Mr. Matt Jacobs. Matt, take it away.
Thanks, Todd. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to talk about transportation today. Transportation came over from the American Red Cross in 2012 to Catholic Charities, and the large bulk of the team's been with it the whole time, 15 plus years, since overlapping with both groups. So we've got a great group of drivers, very compassionate, caring. We ran during the Snowvid week, three of the days to make sure we could get clients to their medical and dialysis appointments. And so just glad and grateful to have such a great, dedicated, empathetic team. And so I'm going to talk about some of the services we can provide and what we have currently, and things always change, so you never know what we'll be doing next. So our HEB clients, that's an area we serve with in Hercules and Bedford, and that program helps clients who are just transportation disadvantaged. So the requirement for that is just to not have transportation, and so we can take anybody to a job or school within that program, and we're running it from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. for $3 each way. And so they would get qualified through one of our partner agencies or through Catholic Charities directly. But Six Stones, Christian Connection, Mission Central, Need, and John the Apostle Catholic Church. So that's one of our programs that we have that's available to those 3 communities, but the trips have to start and finish within Hearst, Euless, or Bedford. And they do need to be residents of that area. And then the next program, we'll show you the service area here real quick. It's the next slide. And so that's the service area. So it has to start and finish within that area. And then our next thing we have is the NETS program. And the qualifications for that are to be 65 years or older and or have a disability. So we can travel within Hearst, Euless, and Bedford, Grapevine, Haltom City, Keller, and North Richland Hills. They all have to be within that city. The trip, you don't have to be a resident of the city. You just have to start or finish within those cities. And that service runs from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and is $3.25 per one-way trip. And that is, we're subcontracted through Trinity Metro on that to provide that service. And this is that service area. And you might have a question in your head, well, why is it a big U? When they first came out with it, a couple of the cities decided not to participate, and these are the initial starting cities, and that's why the service areas are the way they're set currently. And now we can talk about TCTS. That's another service that we're subcontracted through Trinity Metro with. And it's for the same group, 65 years or older and or have a disability. And they can come out of Azle, Benbrook, Crowley, Everman, Forest Hill, Kennedale, Mansfield, Saginaw, Sansom Park, Westworth Village, or Lake Worth. And those residents have 1 day a week. Currently, there are 2 days a week. The program got expanded, but they have specific set days that they can go anywhere in the county from their city. So if someone in Azle needs to get to Mansfield, that's a trip we would do. A lot of clients come into Fort Worth for their medical appointments, and so they can know when to tell their doctors the day that would be best suited for them to make those medical appointments. But all of the NETS and the TCTS, the clients can go on a trip for anything, groceries, just recreation, medical, dialysis, all those. Anything they want to do, the service is provided. There's no restrictions like the HEB where it's just for work or school. So those 2 services are our way of helping to support the Tarrant County community, getting them where they need to go. And so we're very excited to be helping with that and continuing to do that. And this is the service areas here. There's like 3 maps of the cities, but as you can see, they're spread out. And so we can go to the next map. So they're all over the Tarrant County. And so they have specific days. And so the drivers will be in a specific section of the county on specific days. And so it helps us get some efficiencies with it that way. But currently there are 2 days per city, potentially going down to 1 based on the funding that's currently at hand. Okay. And then who funds us? So a lot of most of the TCTS and the NETS are funded through 5310 and 5307 federal grant funds that we're subcontracted through Trinity Metro. So every 5 years we'll bid on these RFPs, requests for proposals, to get this work to help support the community. And so all of those, like I said, we win those bids, and the NETS provides their vehicles, and the other TCTS, HEB, we provide our own vehicles. So the fleet is currently at about 40 vehicles. And so we have a lot of overhead and things to take care of for us to work and support the community. And then HEB is supported by some of the cities, the churches, the county. And so we get a lot of support from the community, which is greatly appreciated. And then United Way funds, we get a request for a grant every year, and it fluctuates from year to year. And as you'll see when we look at some of the trip graphs, it depends on the funding, how many we can do. But those are for anyone in the county who's trying to get to a medical appointment. So if someone in Fort Worth had to go out of Fort Worth, that's the funding we would use. And so it's pretty competitive, unfortunately, because the funds are so limited. But right now we're currently letting each client do one trip per month, and with the dollars that we have available. And it could potentially, some clients could do it every week, but unfortunately we're not in that position at this time. But that is one of our great added benefits of having those funds, to get some people around the county who otherwise would not have an option to do that. And so we have ADA vehicles and non-ADA vehicles and buses to make sure we can get the clients where they need to go. So extra large wheelchairs we do, and base wheelchairs, walkers, scooters, anything that the person has, we'll be able to help transport. We're doing non-emergency medical transport. And then another one of our big supporters, just like for the dental clinic, is the St. Joseph's Healthcare Trust. And they were generous enough to help support us with a grant that helps us support all of the trips taken to keep us on solid ground moving forward. And so that's where we're at. And so let's look at the trips year over year. So as you can see, some of the trips year over year, we're holding fairly well. Obviously, 2019 was the peak year, and then with the COVID year, we've been having a hard time. And in the meantime, the projections from the industry was for us to be at about 65% of 2019 capacities, and that is really where we're still holding there. It hasn't broken over the top for the trips to come around where everyone's feeling more free to move out and about, and some of those things might not ever come back, but we're still there, been very supportive of the community. We've are doing a lot of dialysis trips. That's never really changed even during COVID. We're still taking the clients to the dialysis appointments and the medical appointments. The other things that the shopping trips had went down, and those are starting to pick up. A lot of our trips coming back will be based on how the senior centers come together. A lot of them are going to start opening up in July, so we're very optimistic about that. Groups like Goodwill Industries and Clubhouse for Special Needs, they've opened up and are going to start opening up to full 5 days a week. They just started this month, and so that'll bring back some of the base clients that we help to support. And there's a lot of need and requests for those types of trips. So we were very grateful to be able to support those groups and what they need. And as a transportation team, we're very open. Well, I guess we're going to talk about the next one. Let's talk about opportunities for growth. And so this is just really an overall, topic of we're open to doing anything we need to do to support the community. And if the trips aren't there at a certain point, do we find other ways to supplement? But some examples of what we've done during COVID, we had Meals on Wheels needed our support. So for about 4 months, we dedicated 5 drivers to Meals on Wheels to deliver meals to homes. And so that was a great opportunity for us. We're very agile as a team and have the support of the whole agency to do what we need to do to support the community. We're still currently helping Tarrant Area Food Bank deliver to clients who are homebound for any reason. If they have COVID and are quarantined or they can't get out to go to a drive-through, we are there to support them. So we're still currently doing the Tarrant Area Food Bank. The Meals on Wheels finished, like I said, after about 4 or 5 months last year, and we're always looking for ways to support the community in what's needed. So if it turns out that people need to get to, if an organization needs someone to get to an event, they can call and we can do private trips because we have the buses. And so we're open to anything. So anything that comes our way, we'll look at, see if it makes sense for everybody and figure out a way to get it done to support the community. So just recently we were able to help Sergio get some medical supplies for the dental clinic that got donated to back up to the agency, and luckily we were able to do that yesterday. And so we're just a transportation group willing to do anything, but like first and foremost, the drivers are just such great, compassionate people, and I'm very excited to be part of the team as we move forward and get more in depth into the community and the needs we can help with. We did purchase a mobile app to help increase the client experience, so they can track their trips, they can track how much funds they have available, and so we're still working on rolling that out to the client. So we're trying to do a lot of new things to keep up with the times, and we're very excited to be a part of the community. And we now have a video from one of our volunteer drivers. We have a great base of volunteer drivers of about 30 people that work up to about 40 to 80 hours a week. In 2019, we're doing about 80 hours a week of volunteer hours, and it's such a great group to help support this transportation team.
So I'm Steve Zurby. I'm coming up on 69 years old, and I retired as a sales executive from IBM. As I'm a member of Good Shepherd Catholic Communities, so of course I see all the vehicles out there for years, but I had a day job. But some of my friends were trying to recruit more drivers, volunteer drivers. So I heard that message through the years, and I thought to myself, well, that might be something neat for me to do when I retire. When I did retire in the summer of 2018, I started driving for Catholic Charities about one day a week, and I just felt like it was that was something that I was called to do. I kind of think of myself when I get in the vehicle that Christ is my co-pilot, so I'm asking him to keep my clients safe and to help me be the light of Christ to them as they're on the journey. To me, it seemed like a good way to help other people. I always think that actions speak louder than words, so we don't have to do a lot. All we have to do is treat them with kindness and dignity. There's a number of my clients, you get to know them, particularly some that you pick up and take on their routes several times. There's a number of my dialysis patients, some of which, one that comes to my mind whose name was Jesus, didn't speak English. They have a tough road. So they're spending several hours there, and they're often drained when they're coming back, and I'm taking them back home. And so anything I can do that make their life easy is a good thing. I was in sales in healthcare for a number of years, so I work with hospital administrators, and so that's a totally different ball game. When you're doing volunteer work, it seems to me the more focus on humility and being a servant. Now I'm into a different phase of my life, and so I focus more on knowing God, loving God, and this job helps me serve God. Well, I pray every day for Catholic Charities and their mission. It's an important mission. And driving, it seems to me, is one of the easiest ways for us to get involved and give of our time and our talent, in addition to any financial contributions we may make. So I would encourage people that, particularly if they're in a retired situation like many of us are that are the volunteer drivers. Make some time and come on over, and the water's really not cold or intimidating at all. So,
all right. Thank you very much. Hope you have enjoyed all of this. I know this is a lot of information to absorb, but we really felt it was important to pull back the curtain for you and give you that 360-degree view of our businesses. So we have a few minutes, so if you have any questions at all whatsoever, we'd be happy to answer them for you. I mean, Matt and Sergio are still on the line, so they're able to answer questions for you as well. So feel free to step forward. You can put it in the chat if you want to. You're welcome to come on, unmute yourself and ask if you want. If you can't think of anything right now, don't feel bad. You can always email us later, and we can get back to you as well. But we are open and ready. All right, so Joanna says we have a question via text. What can the people joining us on the call do to help our social enterprises? That's a great question. Number one thing, honestly, that you can do is help raise awareness within the community that these services are available. That really is the chief thing that you can do. So just like what Matt said in relation to transportation, the folks who are living in those areas, living and working in those areas, just helping to spread the word that this is something that's available to them. You know, maybe they're, especially in the HEB area, their car breaks down. They can't get back and forth to work. I mean, that's a primary opportunity for them to give Catholic Charities a call and let's get you there while you're getting that issue worked on. Or for folks who are needing to get back and forth to doctor's appointments, and we transport a number of folks who are on dialysis, and so of course, I mean, that's a huge necessity, and we continue to do that even during Snowvid. I mean, providing a lot of these services to people. And then same within immigration, our dental clinic is typically pretty booked. They do a really good job of getting the word out, but by all means, please continue to do that. Another area and way that you can support is by doing sponsorship opportunities. So each of our social enterprises have sponsorship opportunities. In the dental clinic, for example, your sponsorship could end up entailing helping to pay for the initial consultation and exam for a handful of families that are walking through the door. In transportation, it could be helping to provide fuel, which for those of you that drive a vehicle and are on the road, you've probably recognized that your debit card is being charged a hair more today than it was a year ago. So these things are going up and they are expensive. So those are some great ways as well that you can help to support our programs. Love that question. What else? We gave you a lot. Some of you may still be digesting, so I totally understand that. Partnership with a private therapy clinic look like, and is that possible? I tend to be a almost anything is possible kind of guy, so I would love to talk more about that and see what we can do to make that happen. So we will make a note of that, and we will get, whenever our folks are who are going to be following up with everyone on the call later on, we'll make sure to get more information from you, and they'll connect you with us so we can have some more conversation about that. Love ideas. That's another way you can help us, is send us some ideas. And let's see, Christy was asking, where can we find out more about the sponsorships? Actually, I tell you what, we will put that in the chat for you. Katie, if you wouldn't mind, we have a few flyers on that, and we'll put that in the chat so that way you can click on that and it will tell you exactly how you can support that and what those sponsorships are specifically helping with as well. And Debbie asking, does CCFW offer assistance to immigrants who are seeking their green cards, such as food insecurity and a rental assistance? Well, Sergio, yeah, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't do it directly through the immigration program. That's not what our program is designed to. But every time we discover a need like that in the course of our interaction with our clients, we do make a referral to community care or other appropriate programs within the agency, and they are treated like anybody else. These issues that they might be having with immigration are not a concern for what the agency can do for them and guide them to that. So yes, the short answer is yes, absolutely.
Very good. Thank you very much. And Katie is still looking for those flyers, but no worries, we will get them for you. And Joanna has loaded a link if you want to volunteer with our transportation program. There's a link to the website there. Always looking for wonderful people who are wanting to help out there. I know we have just a few minutes left, so we will go ahead and begin wrapping up. Love these questions, though, and if there are any others that you think of, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'd love to talk with you further. Special thanks to Sergio and Matt for your leadership and your willingness to come on here and speak to these folks. If you may have more questions or ideas, we're absolutely excited to follow up with you, and you're going to be receiving a follow-up call in the next few business days just to continue that conversation. If you'd like to help, we certainly would love for you to serve as an ambassador for Catholic Charities. That's to introduce more of our community to our agency and help us fill our needs. Our social enterprises are always actively recruiting volunteers, sponsors, partners, and ideators. Send us your ideas. We certainly discuss these options and more whenever we give you that follow-up call. So we thank you so very much for learning with us, helping us to spread the word about the great work that is going on within this community. This is definitely not the end. We have a lot more coming down the pipeline that we are going to be continuing to explore. We're hoping that you'll see more businesses with the name CCFW attached to it that will be expanding throughout the community in the coming years. So thank you all so much. We hope you have a tremendously blessed day. And just thank you again for being here. We'll talk to you soon.